All right. Good morning, grade 6. So for today, we will have a lesson on lesson 4, 5, and 6. So let's start. For our first topic for lesson 4, we have analyzing story elements with a graphic organizer. That is on page 377 of your book. So what is a short story? It's narrative text with one or more characters involved in a series of events that usually focus on two major conflicts. Example, the story, the painting, which which is our story last week. Okay, it's an example of a short story. So here's an example of a graphic organizer for analyzing story elements. So we're going to so I'm going to show you first what the graphic organizer looks like. Okay, then we'll have an example. So here you write the title of the story and the author. Here's the climax, the rising action, exposition, point of view, beginning action setting, characters, falling action, resolution, conflict, theme, and that's it. Okay, so this is what a graphic organizer for analyzing story elements looks like. Okay, now let's do from the story, the painting, let's analyze the elements of that story. So the title is the painting and the author is John O'Brien. Okay, so I forgot so the climax is supposed to be there. I only did some parts. Exposition here. So the point of view, it's supposed to be point of view is first person. Point of view, the beginning action is when the boy visits Mrs. Spencer every Saturday. Setting is Mrs. Spencer's house. Characters, the protagonist is the main character, which is the boy, and the antagonist is Mrs. Spencer, and other characters, was the mother, the boy's mother. Okay, we also have the resolution. So, how was the conflict resolved in story? So the boy faced his fear, went back to Mrs. Spencer's house, and he found out the truth about the painting. So the conflict was the painting seemed alive. So the boy thought that the painting was alive. And then the theme of the story or the message. So paintings reveal how an artist feels about certain subjects in life. Some may be about their experiences. So what you do is to learn to appreciate of these things. Okay. Next is for lesson 5, the topic and identifying imagery in poetry. That is on page 389 of your book. What makes poetry beautiful and meaningful is imagery. So imagery means it refers to the use of details and descriptive words to create sensory experiences for the reader. Aside from poetry, stories and other similar texts may also use imagery to provide a more vivid description of details. So there are 5 kinds of imagery, and here they are. We have first visual imagery, which uses details to help the reader see the details as if they are real. For example, far from the trouble and toil of town where the reed bed sweep and shiver. This is from Old Man Platypus by Banjo Peterson. So the visual imagery here is where the reed bed sweep and shiver. Next, we have auditory imagery. It says details to help the reader hear the sounds described in the text. So even if you can't really hear it, it makes you hear the sounds. So by describing or putting details. Example, if you like to hear the ocean as the drums upon the shore. This is from In Tune with Mother Earth, Nature. Okay, so here is the auditory imagery as the drums upon the shore. The drums are musical instruments, so it produces sounds that one can hear, can use their sense of hearing to be able to feel the music. Next is tactile imagery is to use details to make the reader touch or feel the things in the text. Example, leaves for smooth and bark for rough. Leaves and bark may be free enough. This is from Leaves Compared with Flowers by Robert Frost. So the tactile imagery used here was here. Leaves for smooth and bark for rough. So as you know, smooth describes a texture, which is something that you can feel or touch. As also for rough, it's also something you describe for texture. Okay. Next, we have olfactory imagery. It uses smells to help the reader smell a particular thing in the text. Example, sniffing at the fresh mint green grass of spring. I wished this scent will forever to my soul cling. It's by Evelyn B. Angeles. So the olfactory imagery here is sniffing at the fresh mint green grass of spring, and scent will forever to my soul cling. Okay, so fresh mint of green grass, sniffing it. So action of smelling it, and scent, a scent that you also use your sense of smelling. Okay, and lastly, we have gustatory imagery. It uses symbols to make the readers taste things in the text as if they are real. Okay, example, they live on crispy pancakes of yellow tide foam from the Fairies by William Allingham. So the gustatory imagery here is crispy pancakes of yellow tide foam. Okay, so well, crispy pancakes are type of food, so you use your sense of taste to be able know um, know what it tastes like or what it feels inside your mouth. That's why it was described as crispy. Okay. And next we have recognizing symbolism in literature from lesson 7, that is on page lesson 6, that is on page 405 of your book. So what is symbolism? Symbolism is the use of representations or symbols for ideas and qualities by giving meanings that are different from their literal meaning. So it's not literal meaning, it's not the same meaning as the one that you can find in a dictionary or an encyclopedia. Okay, it's not the literal meaning. Okay, it symbolizes meaning. um it it gives a whole new different meaning to it. Some A meaning is behind it. Okay, something like that. Okay, it may be the use of the following depending in the text. Okay, if it's an object for another object or idea. Example, dove for peace. Okay, dove symbolizes peace. Okay, we know that dove is a kind of bird, but we're not going to take it literally. So we're going to take it as a symbol. So dove, symbol for peace. Sun, symbol for life. It could also be an action, an event, or a spoken word for a symbolic value. Example, smile for friendship or feeling of affection. Okay. To develop symbolism in literature, writers use the figure of speech like metaphors and similes. They are free to add other levels of meanings, a literal meaning and the symbolic one. Okay, whose meaning is deeper than the literal. Okay, this is an example from an excerpt, A Sunflower by William Blake. A sunflower, weary of time, who contests the depth of the sun, seeking after that sweet golden clime where the traveler's journey is done. Okay, so the sunflower symbolizes people or human beings. Okay, and the sun, so we can see it here, a sunflower weary of time. And then sun symbolizes, represents the life. Okay, which we can see here from who counted the steps of the sun, seeking after that sweet golden clime. Okay, this poem symbolically refers to the human being's life cycle and their desire for a never-ending life. Okay, next we have is understanding haikus that can be found on page 405 of your book on lesson 6 as well. Okay, so a haiku it uses symbolism to express seasonal awareness, feelings toward nature, compassion to animals, loneliness, happiness, and sadness. So you already know about symbolism. So you use symbolism in writing haikus. Okay, so example of a haiku. New Year's Day. Even the half-penny kite flies in the Edo sky. New Year's Day, even the half-penny kite flies in the Edo sky. So haiku can also be type of a pattern poem. Okay, usually it's equivalent only to a few syllables. Okay, so the meaning of this haiku is that the flying kite symbolizes Yataro's high spirits and happiness. Okay, usually kite symbolizes hope. Okay, in for writers, it symbolizes high spirits that because a kite is high up in the sky, um, some it, it can reach anything. So parang so it's like being hopeful of reaching your goals or dreams. Okay. Okay, so that's the end of our lesson for today. For your assigned task, you have one seat work, which is on exercise 3A to B, page 389, about and you have a partner activity on exercise 3, page 406, numbers 2 to 5. Okay, so here are the partner activity schedule. Sachi and Jeko will do will be on will be at 11:30 to 11:35. Anase and Shiana will be at 11:35 to 11:40. Doreen and Isabel will be at 11:40 to 11:45. Jeric and Kyle will be at 11:45 to 11:50, and Miguel and Rohan will be at 11:50 to 11:55. That's it for today. I'll see you later. Let's meet at 11:55 at the reading classroom. Goodbye.